fantastical and mysterious, yet there was an element of a classic feeling to this, almost like a classic kid story, but more on the Brothers Grimm side. Something a little twisted. I loved the playful sense of humor throughout, but with that twisted underlying kind of black magic permeating it, and that hint at the nefarious. I was deeply intrigued, and I loved this melding of genres and tones. The environment, the set dressing, and the costuming created that scene and that world so brilliantly to immerse us into this world. And the masks and costuming were specifically super striking in setting the tone and really setting this piece artistically apart from others attempting the genre.
Highlights lore and the unknown. For me, this short has really beautiful sweeping shots of nature, and I think also does a really good job with its lighting. And I think that lighting is really additive to the storyline, especially as it charts like what is light and what is dark, and comments on this really well. So I think that tonally and the cinematography also reflects that. And I think the suspense in this film is really drawn out by this mythical, sort of supernatural, folktale type of lore, and accompanied with the monologues, it almost sounds like poetry to me.
So there's definitely a lot of mythological and theological links and references in the short. I like how they implemented a variety of these to tell this story about fiction and fantasy. I like how they implement different means and techniques to tell the story. They use regular verite scenes and also third person or third character monologues.
Visually, it was really cool. I loved all the costumes and the masks, and the special effects that they used to make these creatures appear the way that they do. The witches especially sort of freaked me out. They were so unearthly and unreal and mysterious, and their masks were frankly pretty creepy, especially the way that we cut to their scenes. We just cut directly to them staring down the camera in these very creepy masks. I thought that worked really well in getting a reaction from me. It definitely made it feel like we're in a dream, more like a nightmare, I would say. But it was a cool effect. I loved the physical manifestation of death in Mirtillo himself, sort of portraying walking with death. I almost thought at the beginning that the small little goat turned into a man, but I think both the goat and the man were portraying death in different ways. Yeah, so all of the little Easter eggs and motifs in this were really cool to find as I watched the film. Especially reading the description and realizing what I'm seeing, I could appreciate a lot more. Seeing the nods to the Black Death.
Definitely succeeded in one of its most important jobs, which was to get me invested. I have so many questions that I would love to get the answers for, but I know that to get them, I have to keep watching. And to that, I will say I'm very excited to see what happens next. I would love to see what happens next. Like I said, so many seeds were planted in this one episode, and I'm sure that'll down the line they will be answered. But yeah, very much sets up its world very nicely, and leaves you wanting more.
Shot set in the 14th century. I really like. I'm honestly a fan of movies set in the Middle Ages, but this one is very well done. I mean, the journey is compelling. We see all these kind of different creatures, and we keep seeing different twists. Every turn there is always something happening. The story is never gets slow or boring. It's never the same. It keeps changing and changing and changing. So I think overall the shot was very well done, and I really enjoy the cinematography. This is high quality cinematography, as well as a high quality production value in terms of costumes, in terms of makeup, special effects, and everything.
I thought that the cinematography on this was beautiful. What they did, how they shot the landscapes and the sound design, I think it was fantastic. I loved the voiceover, the inflection of the voiceover. I think that there was a lot of emotion there. I think that the locations were gorgeous. The costumes were very cool. I think the filmmakers did a great job.